We're talking about endosymbiosis, which is a close relationship between two organisms where one organism lives inside the other. Endo meaning within, symbiosis meaning close relationship. And we're doing this to talk about how one cell became three, so that we can discuss later on the biodiversity of life on Earth. So let's scoot this up. And then we're going to start our story, here let me turn on my pen, with an ancient bacteria. And this is how we draw our ancient bacteria. It's a cell with a tail. The tail is actually a flagella. So let's write ancient bacteria. And on this side we have a host cell. The host cell in this story engulfs the ancient bacteria. This is why it's endosymbiosis, because one thing is living inside the other. And we believe that our present day eukaryotic cells, we know this is eukaryotic because it has a nucleus. We believe that our present day eukaryotic cells have mitochondria that were actually these ancient bacteria. We believe this because the bacteria and mitochondria have DNA, and the mitochondria have its own set of DNA, different from that which you would find in the nucleus. And it actually replicates on its own schedule that's different from the cell. It's also the same shape and size. So we believe that all of these things are more than just a coincidence. We believe that the host cell engulfed the bacteria and is now evolved to become the mitochondria. So this right here, a cell that has eukaryotic, a cell that has a nucleus and mitochondria, we call these eukaryotic cells. And if we go down a little bit further, let's draw our nucleus and our mitochondria again. And you can see that this one has sort of a roundish shape. This is our generic animal cell. So an animal cell is a type of eukaryotic cell because it has a nucleus and it has mitochondria. So things that we know about animal cells, one is that they have that roundish shape. Two, they don't have a cell wall. They lack a cell wall. So let's write no cell wall. And finally, number three, they have a mitochondria and a nucleus. So let's put mito for shorthand for mitochondria and nucleus are present. Now, here's our first type of cell that we were talking about. Now let's go back and we're going to take this ancient bacteria. This ancient bacteria is our prokaryotic cell. This is going to be hard to fit in, but I'm going to write prokaryotic. And this is also known as bacteria. They're always single-celled organisms, and these lack a nucleus. So let's put no nucleus. The name prokaryotic literally means before nucleus, before kernel. Kernel meaning karyotic, I'm not sure where it came from, but pro meaning before, so before kernel, before nucleus. So we have our prokaryotic cell, or our bacteria cell. We have our animal cell. Now we believe that this engulfing thing happened again. And right over here, we're going to draw a cyanobacteria. Now the cyanobacteria are the bacteria that filled the oceans and are responsible for changing the gases in the atmosphere from toxic gases like methane to carbon dioxide, like carbon dioxide to oxygen. So we believe that the eukaryotic cell engulfed this cyanobacteria. And so here we have a nucleus, a mitochondria, because it's a eukaryotic cell, but now we also have a cyanobacteria. So let's write cyanobacteria. But we believe that this cyanobacteria is actually our present-day chloroplast. So let's write chloroplast. And we have a nucleus and a mitochondria. Why do we believe that this chloroplast was the ancient cyanobacteria? Well, once again, the chloroplast has its own set of DNA and replicates on its own schedule. It also is the same shape and size as the cyanobacteria. And they're two of the only things on Earth that photosynthesize. So once again, we believe that this is more than a coincidence and that the ancient cyanobacteria is today's chloroplasts. And so we have now plant cells. So what we know about plant cells is, one, they have this squarish shape. Let's write squarish shape. Two, they have a mitochondria, or they have many mitochondria, and a nucleus because they're eukaryotic cells. Three, they have a chloroplast, or they have many chloroplasts, so that they can, 4, photosynthesize. So what's important to remember here is that both plant cells and animal cells are eukaryotic cells. They're a type of eukaryotic cell. And a prokaryotic cell is an ancient bacteria, or a bacteria, which is different from a eukaryotic cell because it doesn't have a nucleus. All right, I hope this helps, and let me know if you have any questions.